Good morning, Paul. We're on a Monday morning after a away defeat at Warrington. It's been a bit of a tough start to the season for you.
Yeah, it was always going to be difficult with, it's difficult when, we've had the embargo and we had the suspension and things like that. That's not making excuses, but it has, like you say, made a difficult start to the season. But, Saturday wasn't good enough. I don't think it was a 4-1, as in performance, but people look at the papers and see a 4-1 thing and think it was a bit of a drubbing, but we conceded poor goals from a team wise and missed chances. I think the chance at 0-0 when we went through was a big turning point in the game if you go 1-0 up, because we started the game fairly well, but now that the embargo has been lifted, then now it's up for me to try and identify a couple of players that will come in and improve it by next weekend.
And say like you talk about the performance, it wasn't a 4-1 game really. I mean, for a lot of people thought in the second half, when we got that goal back through Anthony Dwyer, we were on top of the game then, and it was sort of hit on the break when they got their fourth. Did you see it the same way?
It was, but you don't win many games when you're 3-0 down. I said at half time that whatever happened, that we don't lose that second half. That you go out and you play for a little bit of pride. And I thought we did that, but like I say, you can't go in at half time 3-0 down. It was a thing that was happening last year. I thought that we'd rectified that problem a little bit pre-season, but we are very, very young as a squad, and I think that showed. And it's up for me now to try and get a bit of experience into the football club. Yeah,
and when Warrington scored their second goal, I mean, a couple of seconds before that, Luke Foster's gone up for a header and he's come down, and you heard him scream in pain as he landed. And he didn't come out for the second half. How's that looking?
He's going to be sore. He's obviously got a calf injury that he may struggle for tomorrow night at Whitby. But Jaylon come on. That was a positive that his international clearances come now. So that's like a new signing, and I thought he did very well when he come on. As did David Jones, who managed to get his first start on Saturday. So there was some plus points. Obviously the result was a massive negative. But there's no room for sulking. We've got to get on with it, and a difficult trip to Whitby, but a game that we can win.
And then we look at other players who've been injured, like Anton Brown. The first game of the season, that bad challenge against Ashton United. How close are we to seeing him back in the starting 11?
I don't think Anton's a million miles away. Whether tomorrow comes a little bit too early for him, whether we try and manage that for the FA Cup next weekend. But Anton's a player. He's turned up for every training session that he's available to come to, and he's turned up every away game that we've had. So he's one of them that he comes in, gives his experience. It would have been easy for him to stay away from these games, distance travelled and things like that. But no, he's been there every game, and I know he'd be a massive asset to the football club, and he's a player that we're massively missing at the minute.
Okay, and sort of moving on to tomorrow night in Whitby, it's a bit of a trek out there on a Tuesday night. Whitby, sort of top 6 team at the moment. Is there anything you're going to do to change it for tomorrow? Would you look at maybe the team that started the second half on Saturday?
It's something that I've got to look at. I'll speak to Welshie this morning. I've seen them play this season. They'll play 3 at the back, which I think we can go out there and not be defensive against at all, that we can go out and take the game to them. So they've had a great start to the season. I think they've surprised a few people, but we know it's a tough place to go. But again, Tuesday night or Saturday afternoon, you've still got to go and do the distance, and we'll go there, positive and get Saturday out of the way.
That's brilliant. All right, cheers. Thanks for your time, Paul.
Thank you.